You own your own agency, Remy Estate. You are the CEO and the founder, and you are one of the few people that I actually knew from day one I moved here. We became good friends from day one. I think I don't even know how we met, but I remember that we clicked quite well. And
I just remember it was open house in Belvederes, Palacetes de Belvederes.
Yeah, okay.
Ground floor.
Yeah, I sold that one. It was a record deal, 1.7, I think.
I can't remember the price, but I do remember that. I do remember because you spoke Russian.
Yeah.
And you were probably first person I met here in Marbella speaking Russian.
Oh, wow.
So this is how I remember the moment we met.
Cool. And you, Daniella, what would you say to the younger generation? What do they need to think in life and business?
I grew up in Hungary behind the Iron Curtain, where expectation and being the same as your neighbor, being the same as everybody else was standard. You could not stand out. That was not accepted at all. So I came from the culture where you had to be same as everybody else. What I would advise my young self and the young generation, just be you, follow your heart and do what you are good at. Do what makes you happy every single day, because you have a lot of days in front of you before end of your life, and you only need to be sufficient for yourself. You don't need to fit in. You don't need to be the expectation of your parents. You don't need to justify your wishes because your neighbor thinks that what you want to achieve is crazy, is out of ordinary. Just follow your heart and do what you want sincerely. Yeah.
Also, amazing example. You are working as a personal shopper, doing very different in this business, where you are advisor for buyers, but has only the buyer's interest in mind, and you do your research well before you give them suggestions. And I think it's an amazing way of working, because I guess the buyers feel very, very comfortable, and you don't have any economical
conflict of interest.
Yes, you don't have any conflict of interest. You're really doing the perfect job for the buyer, which I really, really admire, and you are doing something different.
Yes, this is also something that real estate here on the Costa del Sol is done in a certain way. And when I arrived here, I had the heart in the real estate. I had a holiday rental company in Curacao, the property management company. So I come from business of people and business of service. And when I arrived here, I thought, yeah, how interesting is that real estate is being done just in one way. Yes, there are a couple of personal shoppers out there, but a handful. But the majority of business model here is representing the vendor, representing the seller, and getting paid by the seller. But who is representing the buyers, and what kind of ethic you need to stand on both sides? And can you stand on both sides? That's how I became a personal shopper, because I thought I had a kind of challenging experience coming here and moving here and hiring an agency from the Netherlands and helping me to find a property. That was a complete disaster. Yeah. And then I thought, I moved intercontinental with children, looking for school, finding a suitable place. The best for my family, of course, because beside that I'm a professional woman, I'm also a mother. I want the best for my family. I'm very practical. I want to have everything short driving distance. And our move to Spain was a disaster, because the company I hired, they let me down.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I wish I really would have someone who sincerely be on my side, it would have been priceless for me. I would have paid for no matter what, just to give me the sincere advice, the sincere answer to questions, like, may I say one example? it was very important for me, the driving distance between the school, the international school of my children, and where I was living. First step we find a school for our children, because that was our highest priority, to have a good education and a continued education for our children. And I was told, this is like 20 minutes. I was looking in Holland from a living room on a Google map and calculating distances, sitting between board meetings and organizing that everything is going right. And then the agent said to me, no, it's 20 minutes. We came here and I end up 1 hour, 50 minutes in the morning without traffic, dropping off my children to school. And then, end of the day, to pick them up was again the same amount of time. So if I may say, for a working mother, this is a disaster.
Yeah, losing 3 hours of your day daily at least.
Yes.
It's horrible.
It is horrible. I mean, it is horrible. And I thought, wow, I wish I would have had someone who were really telling me, listen, this is a great house, but this is the driving distance, and would have been ideally my choice to choose, yes, I take on this because I prefer to be in this house, or I give in my expectation in regarding the property, because my priority is being closer to school, to be able to drop off my children quicker and pick them up quicker.
Of course, so you can use the time for other things.
Yes.
But if you go back now in time, what kind of profile would you prefer helping you? Would it matter if it was a female or a male agent, and what kind of personality you would want that agent to have?
Would not have mattered to me if it's a female or a male. What would have been my highest priority? And I thought that I was under the impression that the agent who I was working with was fulfilling my needs. The highest priority is listening what I want, what my priorities are. I know traditionally females, they are better in emotional intelligence, they are better in multitasking. But if I would have had a male agent who would have really listened carefully, I'm a very direct person. I come from Eastern Europe, but most of my life I lived in Holland. So I consider myself Western European. I'm very direct. I tell you what I want. How do I want it? So
it's not so hard to
It's not so hard.
No.
It's not so hard. I mean, I have 3 priorities, and please. So I think it's easy to work with me because I know exactly what I want. And if I would have had someone who really listened, then, but maybe this is also a good example. If I would have had someone who really have had listened, I wouldn't become a personal shopper.
I think so too. I think it's great to see how people work, especially people maybe not doing exactly how you would do, because then you will see like, wait a second, I can do better. People deserve better. So I think it's great that happened to you. And now you're here.
Yes. And I always think in my work that the information I provide to my clients are my responsibility. My responsibility is tell the truth. And the conclusion is being drawn by my client. So I cannot judge if something is good or bad or black or white or close or far or expensive or cheap. I tell objective facts, and my clients, they decide if in their priority list that is too expensive, too cheap, too far, too close, too big, too small. It is their choice. My responsibility is to bring all the information to the table.
Renata, I know that you bought an apartment a couple of years ago, and I'm curious to hear what are your experiences, because I know you also yourself an agent, but when you are on that side and buying a property, what experiences did you have that is both good and bad?
This is not the first property I bought.
No.
I bought and sold in total, I think, 5 properties. So this wasn't the first one. but it doesn't change anything. As I don't know if you know, it was a great price unit. I wanted it straight away without viewing. But of course, not every agent works the same way I do on the coast. So first issue was to get put an offer without viewing. The agent just didn't allow me to do that.
Wait. He didn't allow for you to put an offer on a property without viewing.
Yes, it was some agency from Fuengirola.
Okay,
the
interesting.
Benahavis. I don't know how they work. This was the first and the only time I met the agent. So it was evening. I said I want to present the offer straight away. The price was so good that for me, I would renovate it. In any case, so I didn't really care how it looks like inside. I knew exactly where it's located. I knew the community. So no, I all evening I was pushing and squeezing the agent to show me it as soon as possible. Then because it wasn't their exclusive. Few agencies had it, and I knew that this type of properties are selling in a few hours.
Yeah.
So this was the first issue. When you you are saying your agent, all the risks. Another thing was she also asked if I pretend to get half of commission, which I said in this case, I don't care, keep it, just reserve it for me right now. So this was the first issue. Then the next issue, after I managed to reserve it, was all the paperwork. In theory, I work in real estate over 15 years. So in theory, I know the whole process, even the legal one. And if there is now any issue, in theory, I could do the whole process without the lawyer.
Yeah.
In this case, I needed to hire the lawyer just because I couldn't find the common language with that agency. They wouldn't provide all the necessary documents, the licenses, nothing. Of course, in this case, that's too risky for me.
Of course.
So this was an issue. When the property evaluator came in, we had some discussion with this agent that even this guy turned to me and said, what? Seems like she's doing you a favor selling this property.
Yeah.
So the experience wasn't great, but I wasn't the first time buyer, so it was fine with me. But imagine the first time buyer in my place. It's
you would not go ahead. You would be scared of the.
I would be shocked.
Yeah. Because if I'm thinking like this, if I contact one of my buyers in an area where he's looking or she's looking, and I tell them this is an amazing price, we need to act fast, they would act the same day without even looking themselves.
Yes.
And if we had this issue with the selling agent and the paperwork, even me, I would say maybe we should step back because, of course, there are some people that even are scammers here.
That's correct. Yeah, this is why I'm saying that if with a viewing, I still could, accept the unprofessionalism. With the paperwork, it was too big risk. So.
Are you happy now afterwards? You got it done at the end?
Of course, I'm happy. I was happy from the day one because I think the same week or maybe the next week, another agent came to me saying, "Oh, you bought it straight out of my."
Amazing.
Yes. So I knew it's a bargain price.
Yeah.
And I needed to go for it.
Yeah, I did the same thing with one of my investment properties that I bought. I bought the same day. And yeah, if you working in this business and you see something good, you go ahead.
Exactly.
And then you also renovated.
Oh yeah, that's you know it perfectly.
So
because
tell
I
us.
called Robert to help me.
So tell us.
This was a nightmare.
Tell us.
It wasn't first renovation in my experience.
The first one.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay.
It wasn't. The only thing, the first renovation I did wasn't easy as well, but it was easier in this case. Oh, it's such a nightmare, to be honest. And because it seems I didn't get a guy from social media or just random from the street. He came from recommendations.
Okay.
But it was such a nightmare. Just not to go into details, my conclusion is I should have got project manager from the day one, which would save me so much money, not only time, but money as well. because what builders tend to do here, they get 5 projects and then they try to move between all of them. So instead of promised 4 months, which is already quite a lot for apartment renovation term, he was renovating a year.
Wow.
And he didn't finish. I literally kicked him out because I couldn't wait anymore. I was paying 2 properties at that time, you know.
And when at that time did you call me?
Like somewhere in the middle, I think it was already 8 months.
Yeah, because I think it was at the end when you were so frustrated and stressed, like nothing is really happening.
Yes, yeah. Of course, he was feeding me with excuses, thinking that, well, woman, she has no idea how it works. He would say that he needed 1 month for electricity job, you know, when you know that in reality, just, I don't know how difficult it could be, but maximum 1 week I could give for that. You know? It's just an example. It was all the way excuses and lies. And then, of course, I'm a woman. I'm very soft. And then he came with excuses of his problems in the relationship, money. I need money up in front. Then you kind of, as a good person, pay something up in front. He doesn't show up for the next, 3-4 weeks. It's a terrible experience. Here in Marbella, well, back then I said never ever again. But now when the time passed and it's easier a little bit emotionally, I would hire professionals, the whole team with project manager from the day one. It's for sure cheaper than trying to deal with them directly. Yes.
So Renata called me after when she was end of the project, and she said, "Can you just come at least?
Just show up. Yes,
show up as a man, and I want to hear your thoughts." And I found out he speaks Russian, the builder. So we're speaking in Russian. And I think I sound quite harsh in Russian. So I was speaking about all the flaws that was happening and that improvements needs to be done. And apparently he woke up after that day.
Gosh, he got scared. We didn't even speak to him directly, like nothing to scare him, you know. He just asked the questions, how's it going, this and that. The whole week after the visit, he would text me like, why would you call someone? This guy, like, he really took it very personal. And I explained to him, look, this is not just a random guy, it's my friend.
But it's actually quite... I'm right now helping a big developer here in Marbella because they contacted me. They asked me for help with their last units. And they already have a really good company that are selling their units. But, you know, I always say to the developers who are building a big urbanization, the companies you hired, you need to have a company that is amazing and selling the 90% of the units. But the last 10%, which is high end, and asking prices are much, much higher than every other unit, you need different attention and different knowledge. So we had a meeting and I was so surprised of the quality finishes and the details and the mistakes was done. And I asked, who is the project manager? We have this person. Okay, where does he work? Oh, he works for the construction company. Like, how do you think a project manager or a controller will handle the mistakes and the flaws from his own company? Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So I told them in the future, we're going to do a couple of things together. In the future, you need 3 main people. And one is a controller, which is a third-party person who has no connections to the construction company. And many people think like, oof, another cost. Because usually project manager is included in the construction. It's not a cost, it's an investment. Because the mistakes will be prevented, the time frame will be faster, and you will not have to pay a lot of extra money. And then the second person I would say is interior designer, because an architect is a different role. An architect is not an interior designer. It's a whole different education, whole different talent.
Profession, yeah.
Completely different profession. Yeah. So for me, if you include interior designer from the beginning, they give a value for the property. they don't give a disadvantage, because selling a new development that is completely fully furnished stage, it's a different story. And the third person, I also told them, bring a consultant who are concentrating for the sales, because they think a little bit different, practical for layout of the floor plan, how many bedrooms, what to do with the living room, add the extra knowledge for selling purposes.
A demand of the
Of
buyer,
course.
right?
Of course.
What we hear every single day. Yeah.
A good salesperson who is advisor will try to find ways to make their life easier to sell. If we create a product that is easier to sell, that means that the developer has a product that is easier to sell. It's a win-win situation. And these three main people in a big development are the crucial part for the development. And they are not a cost, they are investment.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that developers, they don't see it that way. I think the time where developers can just develop something and make the same type of units and just sell is over. We are in a completely different time era where the buyers are more conscious, they more want to have everything to their practicality, to their style, to their expectation. We cannot put our clients, the buyers, in one category and just try to sell them what is on the market. I mean, they come from Western European countries where they use different standards.
I so agree with you. I actually went and saw one of these units that are not sold when they just started to build. Mm-hmm. And I advised against my client at that time to buy it, and he bought something else. Because for me, it was outrageous that you are asking a 6 million euro, 5 million euro property, but the finishes, the material choices are exactly same as the other units. It doesn't work that way. And as you say, nowadays the clients social media have made them aware what is nice qualities, what is nice finishes, what is a nice stone. People are starting to learn. Even the questions are different nowadays.
The brand, they're asking me brand of the tires,
yes.
They're asking me brand of the sofa,
from what
brand
country?
Of the windows.
Yeah,
which country is that? Yeah.
And that's why I think you need to adapt to the clients. You need to create a story. You need to create an experience. You cannot try to sell something just because it's in a good location for outrageous money without giving them the value for that money. Yeah. One thing that I was also curious to speak about is that this crazy trend of being an Instagram agent. You are a little bit more mature. You're not these 20 years old Instagram agents. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this trend?
In general, I think nowadays social media became almost a number one tool for many professions, including real estate. But I know what are you talking about all those trends, all those funny or trendy videos and everything like that. I can speak from my experience. I don't create this type of videos. For sure, they would probably get many likes, many comments, but this is not what I'm looking for on Instagram. I did get quite a few clients who would follow me, or not even follow, stay invisible, following me for half year, a year, because as soon as they approach, they text like, I have been following you for a while and I think I would like to work with you.
Okay.
So in general, in my opinion, social media should be the tool to show who are you and how do you work, what value can you bring to your client, rather than, the other stuff. So I see many videos. I see all those trendy, even property videos, like shoo, shoo, shoo. But then imagine if your potential buyer is, I don't know, 50, 60 years old person. Do you really think they stay, to watch this kind of videos? So I don't know, like if you want to be influencer and get followers and likes, you can do that. But if you want to present yourself as serious professional, I think you need to slightly change the type of content you're posting. This is just my personal opinion.
What I think about this is that this is a trend that is going around. And instead of people finding a more original way of using the social media, people are using literally copy paste of what everybody else using. And look, I think it's not the right way of doing it. I think you need to bring your personality and what you're good at. If you are good at being objective and being factual, that's what you should promote. If you are amazing at having a company and being selective on properties that you're working with, that's what you should promote. People doing the same thing, everyone, doesn't make sense, from my opinion. Especially the young girls needs to be more educational in the social media to be taken seriously, in my opinion. What do you think?
Not only young girls, everyone.
100%, 100%. But I think, this picture of a young girl in Marbella coming here and having a small dog and working on high heels has even more pressure to be taken seriously, in my opinion. I think it's a challenge from day one. And I think it's easy to convert it if you are more educational on the social media instead of being more influencer. That's what I think. Would you agree?
This is the thing. This is the thing about young generation. They are even more influenced. We grew without any social media,
Yeah.
and the young generations, they are very influenced by social media. Do you think at least, I don't know, like 50% of young people who want to go into real estate, do you think they realistically know what this business is? They've seen Netflix shows, they've seen all these influencers on Instagram, and then they think this is the thing, this is the profession, so
the glamour. I think the social media is completely misinterpreting the truth, what is out there, what I experience every single day. And then I think what you also have, Renata, how much does it take to really be a real estate professional? How much education and professional attitude it takes? I mean, I see social media. As a person, I'm a very private person. I'm on LinkedIn. I have an Instagram account because I thought all the content I'm using for LinkedIn, I could also put it on Instagram. But as soon as I open Instagram, I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed by the superstars who are out there.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed by the showing a property of million of euros in 30 seconds in sunglasses. That's my favorite, when you are talking in the camera in sunglasses. And every time I just pause and I think, wow, I'm wondering who is buying this? Is this entertainment, or is this a serious professional knowledge where I'm transmitting information to my clients? What is this? I come from the age where I had Kotler as a marketing education book, and where social media was not common. I think social media is influencing, yes, our life very much. Going in the right direction? For me, no. For me, no, because what I see on social media is not the truth. It is everything posed, everything, many things are fake. Last week I went to a roundtable conversation organized by the British Chamber of Commerce, and I sat down, and someone in a flip-flops and in a long linen pants sat next to me, a very young gentleman, and he started to talk to me about his Instagram, that he's selling properties via Instagram. And I looked at him and I thought, wow, I'm so curious who your clients are, just out of curiosity,
I think in general, I agree that social media is hurting. I do respect the people who are using social media as a business platform, and they are actually really, really good at it. You maybe know one of my close friends, Elmira. She's using her Instagram platform amazing. She has over 50,000 followers, but it's business. The way she's posting, the way she's speaking, the way she's controlling the social media, those people I respect a lot how they use it. What I don't respect is the people that are doing exactly copy paste or walking to a open house and telling them, here is a 10 million euro villa in Nueva Andalusia, but they are in Madroñal. I have seen those things so many times.
And each villa is amazing.
And everything is amazing,
yes.
fantastic. There is no flaws, there is nothing, and you should buy it today.
Yeah.
But I have to say, those people makes us look incredible. So I'm letting them do their own thing because they make us look like a professional. And I'm really, really happy about that. And I come now to a topic that we already have lifted, and it's the truth to move here and start working in our business. You will never see that in the social medias. You will never hear that 70% quit after first year. You will never hear that there is 80% have a second job to survive in this business. It's not so easy to live just on this. But if you do, what would your recommendation, especially to young females to move here, to think about?
What I wanted to say, I am taking in this week 2 new girls to my team in their 23, I think, both of them. I had interview with many more. It's very hard to get experienced agent here, so I took a risk to get a young person, and try myself in training, and now I'm challenging myself creating successful agents. So in the interviews, I also needed to be really tough, like asking direct questions. Do you really realize what this job is? That it's not dressing up nicely, making nice makeup, and just opening the doors. This is a completely different story. So out of, I don't know, probably 6 ladies, just these 2 made to it. So they needed to answer the question, are they fine economically not to sell anything at least 6 months, maybe more? This is the reality of every new agent. Also, if they are fine, answer the calls 10 o'clock or redact reservation contract at 11 or midnight, because as I said before, you snooze, you lose. If you don't do that by 7 a.m., someone else does, weekends, are you fine skipping your, I don't know, beach party because the client can come just on the weekends to view the property? So out of many, just 2 ladies continue this journey, because the rest already on interview apparently had completely different image.
What happens a lot to me, that many young lads reach out to me like, oh my God, I love your content. I would love to move to Spain. Can you help me out? Do you need somebody? What would you recommend? And the first thing I ask, how old are you? If they say they are below 25, I say don't. They're like, what do you mean? I said, don't move here. You are too young, too unexperienced to move here. What I always say, it's 2 things. Get a little bit more experience in life. Doesn't matter what kind of job. If you work at McDonald's or janitor or assistant, doesn't matter. Life experience is priceless. And number 2, save up money. Make sure you have enough in a bank account so you can live without even wondering about money a year. If you have that buffer, a year money in your bank account, you can pay a year rent and has a car for a year, then you're ready to move. If you don't have those 3 things, you should not. That's why I think there are so many young people, because they are so easy to change. There will always be young, hungry people. But coming here without a plan and just a dream, your dream will be crushed.
Yeah, it's wishful thinking.
Yes.
is wishful thinking. And I think if I look at it from the client perspective, would you trust someone with your life savings who is just the beginning of their life, who is in their professional experience, who are I don't know, beginning of their 20s? Would you trust with millions of euros? Would you trust with your dream of relocation?
I agree with you, and I'll give you an example because there is a young couple that moved here. They're around 25, and they're gonna start their own business here. But they have also a family member that is helping them economically. But they're so humble to the situation. They have hired me as a coach, so I'm coaching them, and they understood that they need to work maybe with a lot of rental clients and a little bit lower budget, because they themselves understand that we cannot go to a 5 million euro client and act like we know what we're doing. It will take time, and I respect those type of young people who understand and wants to learn from scratch. What I don't respect is the young generation coming here on no social media saying that they are specialists, they work with luxury properties. Again, those people make us look amazing, but it's also dangerous because the reputation of Marbella uh, gets worse with those type of experiences. And sometimes as a buyer, I guess, or a seller, you trust what they said because they also maybe represent a big company, and you go ahead even if they are young. And that makes me sad because they have a bad experience and the bad reputation continues. So I think we need to be very, very honest with each other. When this young generation comes, they need to start from scratch.
I hope that soon we have the new law implemented, that real estate is an official professional here in Andalusia, and education will be a requirement, and not just education, but liability insurance, that from the consumer perspective, the client is protected no matter what happens.
I do think it will be implemented in the near future, but I think it will change very, very little because I think it's not enough.
Mhm.
I think the requirements and pressure should be towards the companies, because they need to present how they're educating their young staff, then the level of the knowledge. I think that's where the big changes will happen in the future, if that happens.
You have had a good suggestion, right, Robert? I don't know if you have continued with your suggestion towards Andalusia.
I do have a suggestion that will delete 80% of agents tomorrow.
What suggestion is that?
This, if you are hiring an agent, a selling agent, we're not talking about a trainee or a junior agent. We're talking about an agent that is going to show properties. Then you have to be able to pay them salary of 2,500 euro net.
Salary for agent?
Yes.
I don't think. Tell me more, because I don't agree.
So let's say you are a big company and you have 25 agents. How many would be enough to have actually?
Most probably 1/5.
Yes, so five. Yeah. That's exactly. Those 5, if they also get a salary plus commission, will be well taken care of. If you're a company that's paying salary to an employee, would you be careful who you hire, how you train them, what level of education? Everything will be completely different. That means also the people who would actually apply for those jobs would have different qualifications than nowadays. I think it would be easier to find a senior salesperson, not an agent, senior salesperson who has experience from life, because they don't start from 100% commission. They start with a salary and everything. And I think that pressure, because you as a big company, you would never afford having 25 agents paying this money. Smaller agencies would really, really gain this, because they will have 1 or 2 people. They would have amazing people, but these bigger agencies would have much more quality and less agents.
Yeah.
That would delete everything in our market.
I'm not very agreeing with you, because on a daily, I don't know how about you, me on a daily life where we work a lot with collaborations and with agents, I can say from minute one which agent is salary based. It's completely different personality. It's completely different. They treat this like a job, from 9 to 5 job.
I think it's also depends. You are talking about the people who have a monthly salary and that's it.
No, even the percentage. The thing I want to say that salary would attract completely different personalities. They would attract the ones who want to be comfortable, for whom 2.5 is kind of enough. If I earn more, that's great. But even without that, I'm fine. This is what I want to say. It attracts different kind of agents. You're not going to reach that agent at 9 o'clock in the evening, and maybe you need urgent viewing like 8-10 o'clock in the morning.
I don't really agree because there will be salary plus commission. So, and the commission can be lower in the beginning because they have a salary and higher later. I think the applicants for the job would be completely different, but I think it's a positive because right now I have friends who have agencies here. Every time they post that they need agents, they have 30 applicants and 29 of them are below 25. And it's because everybody knows in this business that it's a jungle. It's the fittest survive. And I think that desperation, the fittest survive, goes towards the viewings and the clients. You can see that. I think if we bring more mature level of personnel, because 2,500 euro net is nothing. If you're going to live comfortably in Marbella and have a good life, 2,500 euro is nothing. So if you have that as a rule, you would still hire only people who can bring something also to the table. And I think the level of taking care of those people, educating them, giving them leads, because nobody would like to have somebody employed for 2,500 euro if you cannot really take care of them, because they need to give something back to the company.
Yes, exactly.
And I think people would be much more careful who to hire and who to spend time on. I have my own company, as you already know. I'm looking soon to hire somebody, and I will have that rule for myself. If I cannot hire somebody and pay that amount, then I'm not ready to expand, in my opinion. It's different if I have a trainee who is super young, who wants to come here, learn from scratch. He's getting the knowledge for free, and I'm getting somebody who I can teach in the future. But we're talking about somebody who's going to work with me. I'm going to pay that amount to also bring that as a show to people that this is what I think we should do.
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
As soon as you're going to start with the search, I will want to have a chat with you. Because I think it's going to be really challenging.
I think to pay a salary to agent is also a sign of commitment from the company. What I see right now, that companies, they have a very high expectation from the agents. What do they do for them and how do they have to work? But the other side, the companies, they don't have commitment to the agents because sometimes they do education. There are very well respected companies out there who are really educating their staff, and the staff is staying there for a longer period of time. But there are also famous agencies where agents come and go. So paying salary to their agents, I think, would force them to commit their time, their energy, their effort, and to
100%.
Educate their agent to perform better.
And also, in Spain, it's really, really hard to get rid of employees.
Yeah.
So that means that, and it's same in Sweden and many, many, many Western countries, which I think it's a good, because one way you cannot play with people's life left and right and just change them because it's so easy to change them. And you would be so cautious who you will hire. You maybe will say, no, I don't dare to hire these people. I will wait until the right person. If it means that I need to work more or my colleagues need to work more, we wait. I think the pressure and the cautiousness will change our mindset. This would gain smaller companies, I promise you, but this will be completely different for the big companies that has so many employees. Because as we already spoke, you need to have money on your bank account. As a young person, that's why I say don't move here. They cannot afford living here. It's not possible to move here and expect that you're going to sell from day one and make money. What happens? They come here, they live a dream, they maybe got some money from the parents, they have saved up a little bit, and then what happens? They move back because they couldn't succeed. And that makes me sad because they have a wrong picture of Marbella. And my suggestion is a little bit controversial. But I think that would really, really, really change completely the business. In one day, 80% would be gone. Done. You don't need any education or licenses or anything. That will be gone immediately. So I really, really think that could change completely the market. We'll see how the market looks in the future, and I'll try to do it by example and hiring the way I want to hire. So let's see, maybe I was wrong.
Just with the search.
Yeah.
Just with the search.
But if you think logically, Renata, if you look at, let's say you put out a job application and there it says that I'm looking for a senior salesperson, where you will get a 2,500 euro net salary plus commission. I'm 100% sure the level of people who will search for that job will be completely different. It can be maybe a car salesperson who have been car salesperson for 20 years. I value that person more than a 25 years old that just moving here. For example, in car business, there is like this. You have a fixed salary plus commission. I do believe the level of people searching for those jobs would be completely different. And in the future, I want to do this to see what kind of applicants I get. Also to test my theory, because it's just a theory at this moment. But the main purpose is it will force the big companies to really, really invest on the people they hire.
Clean up the mess. Yeah.
Yes.
To clean up the mess. Yeah.
That was very good said. I'm going to use it as a reel. To clean up the mess. Renata, she's going crazy. She's wild.
The thing I wanted to say, the control, this is like, I don't know if it's lacking in the whole Spain or just in Andalusia, but right now, for example, the lawyers, they have licenses, but they also have this committee of lawyers, something like that.
Correct.
So if he messes up, does something wrong, I go to committee and he loses the license. If something similar would be applied to agents, I think it would be the same.
The only issue is with that. For me, I would like to see a change today. With my proposal, it will be changed in one day. There's such a high demand right now on Marbella from buyers and sellers. I would really, really wish them to experience much higher level of professionalism in our business from day one. Not to implement the license that starts working January 2027, takes 2 months to implement. People do it, they get it in 2 weeks, but the same people, and maybe 10% will be gone. And then they work, and then complaints start coming in. They need to, the whole process I just described, it's already 2 years.
But what I'm saying, that this probably will not even happen.
We're
not going to have the same conditions as lawyers and...
there are still, you still can get a lawsuit against you. You still can.
Of course,
there is consequences.
Like the ones who are like really into profession, we need to have insurances.
100%.
Ask now everyone, do they have insurance?
Yeah.
And they're not going to have those professional ones.
And it's also on individual level. They need to have insurances, liability insurance. So that is correct. We spoke about young generation moving here. What would you say? We're also speaking many times about female and women in our business. I want to highlight more about those topics. What would you say is the biggest challenge in our business being a woman?
I was thinking a lot about this question, and I think in general, like in a normal level of real estate, just in apartment selling, villa selling, I don't really see any challenges. I don't think it's any different for men or women. But if you want to go on another level, to
Okay.
go into investments, creating communities in big projects,
Developers, investors.
yes,
Okay.
there I see, I like name me at least one woman in our current market who is ahead of developments. I mean, like the big projects, the big companies, like, I don't know, examples, Prime Invest, Invoga, like it's all the time men on
Yes, I agree with you. It's usually the men are the head of the companies, but I promise you that I have many women in the team, because I think as a good developer, it's impossible to succeed without having women in your team, because then you are just being stupid. But one thing I disagree. I do think it's a big different being woman and man in our business in different ways. For example, I can promise you there is situations that I had with clients that I knew that a woman would be a better match than me, because you sometimes are more conscious about emotional aspect. You are more conscious about the motherhood, about the practical use of the properties, and many times I've given away my clients to my female colleagues, which have handled it amazingly. I do think that we have strengths and weaknesses in our own way, and I think we should use them in our own way. I don't, and I think it's also about personalities. My personality doesn't work with everyone. Your personality doesn't work with everyone. We need to adapt to the client, not only female and male energy and agents. But I do think it's a different. But when you talk about investments and developments, yeah, it's not often I see women taking care of the big developments or investors. That is correct. What would you say, Daniela, about did you have any challenges being a woman in our business?
Challenges, no, because I'm a very strong woman,
Yeah.
but it's a fact that Spain is a man's word,
Yeah.
and real estate in Spain is a man's word.
Yeah.
Challenges, personally, no, but how I see it, that society expects us women to perform better. It's not just our job, but it's also taking care of the family, taking
Yeah.
care of the family schedule, organizing our life, and we have to perform in both areas minimum 100%. What I see that, especially be a blonde woman, sometimes I get like eyes and question mark, which I don't take personal. Because
Questions about your knowledge, your work?
Questions about my knowledge, questions about my education, about my background. But as soon as I start to deal with someone, just by my actions, they realize that they don't need to ask questions. Spain is traditionally a culture where females, they never worked. I mean, we are in 2026, and in this time, more and more females, they have their jobs, they are not stay-home moms, but they want to have their career. But in the society, I think compared to Western Europe, Spain is still behind. Still, it is a mind shift for women to work and to be compatible, to have better competence in many cases than men have or are.
I 100% agree. But one thing that I never understood, because like I have only 2 dogs and I feel like I don't have time. How are you guys doing being a mother, running your own business, working, going to the gym, dressing up nice, looking good, answering phones? Like for me, I have so much respect for that, because you have to be amazing and using the time slots you have daily and for the right things without any
clutter.
Yes.
Clutter.
How do you do that?
I am a super organized person, and maybe the reason to be so organized because I like to do things one time. That's it. I don't want to do and repeat things, and I want to use my time. I wanna have a good balance. When I work, I give 100%, but when I have free time, I do 100% free time. So you will never see me doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So for me, it's black or white. I work, I give 100%, and it can be 7 days a week, it can be late night, it can be early morning, doesn't matter. If I work, full focus, and I do that. If I'm not working, then I'm full focus with my family, with my children. I organize the schedule. Every Sunday I review my calendar, what is coming up for the next week. I make a schedule with my husband, who is picking up the kids, who is dropping off the kids. When can I go to the Bikram yoga? Just plan in everything in a big scale. And of course, when we are with clients, our schedule need to be dynamic because the viewings are taking longer. Clients can fly in unexpectedly Tuesday when I had other plans, then modification. But for me, it is just a way of balancing.
No, I have a lot of respect with that.
Exactly. My personal life with my work life, and to be serious in both areas.
No, I have so much respect for that because for me, it almost doesn't make. I don't understand the time how you can handle a relationship, kids, and career. I think that's why maybe so many young generation doesn't want to have kids anymore.
Yeah.
They don't know how they're gonna handle the time. But I think that makes you a much better businesswoman because, as you said, when you work, you need to work. It cannot be that we do it next time, we do it another time, we do it poorly. This is the only time I have. If I'm gonna spend time with my family and maybe my husband or date somebody, this is it.
Yeah, and discipline. The other thing, what helps me every single day is the discipline. No matter what, I do it. I like it. I don't like it. I don't feel it. I distance myself from it. I discipline myself. I get up. I do it. If I decide that I get up half an hour earlier or 1 hour earlier because I want to meditate, I get up and I take my time and I meditate. If I discipline myself that okay, I take 1 hour in the day and I don't answer my phone, then I'm not sitting on the sofa and then scrolling. I discipline myself to step away from my phone. So it is multitasking, but multitasking with full focus of one task at the time.
Okay. And you, Renata?
Completely different for me. Yes, probably. This
I saw your reaction when she said organize. You like.
But this is the difference. I am a single parent.
Yeah.
I don't have husband. I have ex-partner who wasn't great partner and isn't great supporting me. So for me, it now she's getting older. Easier. Yes, because she can go on her own somewhere. If I am in the traffic, then I can call a taxi to pick her up. I can manage. But until now, it was crazy. You can plan, schedule whatever you want, but then the school calls that your child is sick and you need to pick her up and it's traffic and your client is waiting. It's challenging. When you ask how you do that, Robert, I ask myself in many situations, how the hell I've done it? It's really challenging. It's very hard. Like at the very, very beginning, there were situations where a child would come to work with me because I had no other option. When out of sudden she doesn't go to school for one or another reason, and I can't find last minute someone. It's really hard. You said your mom was a single mother.
Yeah.
You've seen it yourself.
Yeah.
It is very hard, but also on the other hand, she is the motivation. Like I have no other option just to keep moving. I can't give up. I can't chill and relax, because I am responsible for her.
You don't have any other options.
Exactly.
Either succeed
I can't prioritize career or my child.
Yeah.
I need to balance between both.
But then I'm also curious if you are single mother how do you even have time to go on dates or meet somebody?
There is no miracle, so you
No.
need to sacrifice something. So social life sacrificed. Now I started to take care of my health, but for many years I completely forgot about myself, about my health. There was no way to handle everything at once. Dates, well, you manage. The thing is that the dating world is even more complicated than our career.
Especially here.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially
here.
in places like Marbella. So right now I have that part completely abandoned. But if we...
I can imagine also it's not so easy. Let's say somebody goes out with you, but your mind is work and kid and everything else that is going on. Do you feel like you can be present in the situation?
No,
or you
absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, it's many years past already.
Okay.
You learn how to manage things. And as I said, now I came back to, she's getting older. My life is getting easier, so I can dedicate time for training, some, I don't know, not podcasts, but reading and,
Or
growing
podcast.
myself. Podcast. So now it's easier. But while she was a small child, there is no another way. You need to sacrifice something.
No, I have so much respect for you guys that actually are here, especially also you that you don't have maybe a partner that is also supporting you. It's even harder, of course. And yeah, I think that also what makes you guys great in our business. You have so much more respect for people's life and the complications, because many of our clients are in complicated situations with work, school, relationships, so many things that going on. And I think you as a woman with those experiences are much better at adapting with those clients than a single man like me. I think those type of strengths, features that you guys have, I'm helpless here.
So this is the, like you said, in her case, the bad agent helped her to find herself in this career. In my situation, I think I have learned to filter clients as well. This is another thing we get here a lot: time wasters, someone who tries to go around and everything. So this is what I learned. I learned to value my time even better, to say no to the clients who are not committed, or you see from day one they are trying to squeeze something out from you but not really going to buy anything. So there is nothing, you always get something good from complicated.
The word no for me is my magical word. I love that word no. I say it more often than yes.
And no is a full sentence.
Yes, it's no. Go back to the investments and developments that we spoke about, that you said that you felt like it's a challenge being a woman. In what sense?
I don't know, like, maybe, like, it feels that it's men's business.
Yeah,
like
men's word. Yeah.
It feels like, I feel that I would need to make 100 steps more to prove that I can handle that too. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is already few years when I'm thinking like I really want to step up, but I find no way to get into that business. I have sold the plot with 10 villas projects. That's amazing. That's achievement. But I wanted to participate fully in that project to learn from day one how it's going. And I was nicely, moved away.
Okay. I actually, unfortunately, agree with you. I think as a woman in investments and developers, you need to be even more firm, even more direct, and taking over the situations. And it's not easy if you're not like that as a person. If you are more relaxed and more calm, or more laid back, which I appreciate from a woman's side, and I think that's why also you guys are great handling several more clients that others people would not. But unfortunately, I think it's the truth, because you also, in the development business, you are handling so many men, builders. All of those people have different culture, and they react in a different way, unfortunately. I work with one developer that is a woman, and she's head of the development company. And she's, but I can see,
Man in skirt.
yeah, I can see in her that she has this approach and this aura, but she's almost pushing that aura and this energy to get things done. Because private, she's such a sweetheart, and I love her for that. But I now working with her, and many times when we have this hard conversations and stuff, she sends me to those meetings. But unfortunately, it's not easy with projects and developments being a woman. I hope it changes more. But I also know a good project in development, if there are no women involved, and that's a shitty project. Because in every project that I'm in charge of, I have at least 1-2 women in my team. Otherwise, this extra woman's touch and thinking, that's what makes it the project stand out and think about things that you would never think. I think that's super important to have in our projects.
Yeah, the softness and the practicality, right? That's what you
100%.
are referring
And
to.
like you guys, I guess you like my apartment, but you can see it's a man. Even me, who's doing projects, I will change whenever I gonna renovate it. It will be completely different, but that's because my experience and my knowledge in the business come in. But if you let, you can see the developers that has had no woman in the project. Everywhere is TVs. Everything is black and white. You don't see this
Dark
extra,
colors,
Dark colors, yeah.
yeah. And then you show
No
it to a
plans.
family, and the mother comes in and she's like, "Whoa, no, thank you. I don't want to have my kids in this manly house."
Man cave.
Yes. And thinking about and speaking about the projects, have you seen any of my videos when I'm critiquing
The
properties
houses. Yes,
projects?
of course.
Yes, yes.
And what do you think about this type of approach? Because it's very, very different in our business, especially in Marbella, to do that.
I think you are a very nice person, Robert, but you try to position yourself as a bad guy. I think it's a camouflage that you are putting on as a bad guy and criticizing and giving your opinion about how can it be better.
But a question to you. How can you be a good guy and critique a property?
You cannot be.
No,
you cannot be.
Because I think I get stamped immediately. I get put in a box that I'm a bad person saying obvious things. Something that is completely overpriced, something that is, the layout is horrible, the qualities, the finishes. I'm not really saying anything about the person who's did it. I'm talking about the property and the project itself.
I think it takes bravery to put yourself out there and to say your opinion. I think it takes bravery.
That's what I thought when I saw the first one, that, wow, that's brave. But on the other hand, you're right. I'm pretty sure you as well. This is exactly the things we're saying to our clients behind the clothes, not so publicly.
Yeah.
You know, you're for sure going to tell your client that, look, that plot in front is a red flag. Something is coming up, meaning construction, maybe affected views. Just example, you know, or you...
Can you live with that there is another 2 years construction VRB? Can you live with that?
Yeah.
So basically, what we do privately with our clients, he did it publicly.
And I have to say, I have a lot of support and a lot of backlash. Like the people reach out, they like, some of them are literally angry. And some of them are so happy that somebody is doing something. Because for me, I'm doing this to make people more aware that there are people in our business that say exactly what they think and use their knowledge to describe it. And for me, if what I say it's not valid, it's just a cow opinion. How you say it? It's just a moo. Nobody listens to a cow. But if I have a valid point and I actually say things that was correct, then is no point of taking it personal. I'm saying it so we can become better. And if you are a developer, investor, and you create a product and you tell them, this is a 15 million euro villa. If you cannot justify the price and the quality and the finishes, what are you doing? You should be the one getting the backlash, not me. And I even have many people reaching out and telling from the agencies that represent those listings, can you make a video of that listing? Because they feel like it's completely overpriced, bad quality, and they want somebody to speak about it.
Do you think the agencies, they don't dare to go into a confrontation with a vendor to explain to them that the price what they are asking for or want to sell it for, that is completely unrealistic because of certain aspects of the property, because of certain choice of materials, because of certain choice of setup?
100%.
Can I say
Yes.
answer to that? Because I'm working with clients mainly, but I also work with listings. They don't listen. So you say, you justify why you name certain price, but then they search for another agent who's gonna say to them what they want to listen, what they want to hear. I lost quite a few listings because of that. Was I sad? I wasn't, because at the end of the day, the property stayed on the market for a while, got reduced in the price to the price I set from the day one, and only after then sold, So, of course, we confront, but the thing is that the market is so uncontrolled that there are agents who are going to come and sell you the nice picture just to get the listings on.
And I think the difference is that Renata confronts in a very professional, educational way. I do it more direct.
Publicly.
And publicly. But for me, look, if I can make one developer, investor, to change to his next project, do it differently, make the level better, make the layout better, I've succeeded.
Yeah.
If I can make a developer put the right price to the next project, I have succeeded. And if that agency takes it personally that I'm trying to do those things, just so you know, I don't make money on YouTube. I'm not some huge YouTuber, but I had so many clients now to reach out, and clients, investors, developers who wants me to be involved in the project from day one, so they don't do the same mistakes. But for me, there are agencies that many agents take things personal. It's my listing. How could he do that? That makes me like, wait a second, I'm not talking about you personally, about your family, about nobody. I'm talking about the property you listed for this price that doesn't make sense. And if you ask them privately, because I always meet them, I go say hi to them, I have no problem. And I ask them privately, is it something you don't agree with me? I've never heard somebody say, no, I don't agree with you. They say the opposite. No, I agree with you. There is so many more things. That's what I usually hear. And I'm holding it back. Many of the videos, I'm holding it back. There's many other things, but when I'm not 100% sure, I usually hold back things. I usually speak about things that I can see and feel. And I don't know, I'm going to continue with this. I'm having fun, and I'm saying the obvious things. And there is a reason why people are watching. I hope you guys going to continue watching.
No,
For sure.
I am absolutely happy you do that. If we all would take it more serious, then unsuccessful projects wouldn't happen. Unhappy clients who bought something and it wasn't great or it was overpriced wouldn't be there. I think you are kind of helping to regulate, make nicer market.
I hope they use my videos and my opinions as a tool. to bring down the prices, to make developers think more about the finishes, qualities, and the product they create. That's my goal. And when I moved here to Marbella 5 years ago, I said one thing: I'm going to change the market, and people start laughing. But I'm going to change the market. I think that's a good way of starting it, by giving some pressure to the developers to do better and to create
we
better
could
product.
do that all, where agents. Why would you take your client to developer? That the price is way too high for what it is. Why would you sell the property as a luxury when the qualities are Leroy Merlin level?
Yeah.
So it's a big mess in the market, on the market. I agree with you. So if you can give something, help with that, that's amazing.
And you, who is a little bit outside from selling a listing, how do you see this?
When I am with clients, I already know with which agencies I should watch out. I know already which agencies overpricing properties. That is a trend that with experience, already if X agency has a property, you should really think about it. I should really do a better due diligence to understand if that is correct. With other agencies, I have experience that, okay, if they say so, that is the truth. I think your videos, they bring awareness. They bring awareness to the market, to the buyers, to point out what are the points that you don't see on a beautiful video. What are the elements that you don't see when you are sitting at home on your sofa and you're looking for a property? I think you point out and you ask questions that a buyer should ask. These are the questions that I am helping my buyers to ask before they purchase something. I think it's excellent that you do this, Robert. And yeah, if you do something out of ordinary, you get always a positive and negative. And I think how the agencies should not take your videos personal. I think you should also not take personal their comments on you, because you just do the best that you can do to bring awareness.
For me, it's the opposite effect. If agency is starting to take things personal, that means I'm doing something right, because they don't like that I'm speaking about their listings. But I never would want ruin deals or do anything. If the deal is ruined because of one of my videos, it's because the property is bad, not because I said something that scared away the client. No. Because the clients are not stupid. Yeah. Even if they hear my video, they will double check what I say.
Yeah.
And how do they double check? They do inspection, they check themselves, they ask the questions, and tada, the same conclusion. So they need to understand whatever I do is to give more awareness. And I'm also showing, of course, my own skills by speaking about the property, seeing the flaws and how we become better. It's also the reason why you contacted me when you had a problem with your renovation, which I loved to come and give my opinion. And I think people should use me more instead of maybe try to push me away, because pushing me away will give me the opposite effect. Then I will check all of your properties and see what we can do.
But psychologically, that when change is, there is always a rejection.
Yeah.
That is the first step. What people do, they reject, and then later they start to think about it. They start to observe it. They start to get used to the idea.
One thing, last thing I wanted to speak about is the pressure as a woman having career, motherhood, relationship, and enjoying life. How do you handle that pressure? Because I think we men have different pressure. We have it's only career oriented, and then everything else comes naturally. Feels like that for me. But for me, you women have so many layers of pressure at the same time. How do you handle it?
Should I start first?
Start.
Yeah. Okay. How do I handle it? I think this is something. I come from Eastern Europe, so there was a very clear distinguishment of what a woman does and what a man does, and there are woman things to do, to be taken care of, and male things to be taken care of. I think in Western society right now it is more the balance. How do I balance it? How do I prioritize it? I feel that I don't have pressure. I don't feel the pressure because I prioritize myself. If I see that I'm getting very, very busy, I just don't take on more clients. I'm in a position where I can prioritize myself. I can prioritize my time, and how do I fulfill it? No, so I personally don't feel the pressure. Is there a lot of pressure? Yes, of course there is a lot of pressure on us as women, because beside performing 100% at work, that companies, they didn't look at us as mothers or wives, or they look at us as a worker. So 100% expectation. But when we go to our private situation at home, our husband, our children, they don't look at us like, oh, mommy is only here 50% because she already did 50% at work. No, we have to do 100% there as well.
That is some kind of pressure.
That is some kind of pressure, and personally, I don't feel it. I don't feel it as a pressure. But I can imagine that many women, they feel that as a pressure, because both our lives are not taking the other life into consideration.
And you, Renata?
A glass of wine and a good cry.
That's for next season.
Media.
We do it for next season. Chocolate, wine, ice cream.
Yeah, I agree completely with you. It's a balance. You need to learn prioritizing things. You need to learn saying no.
Yeah.
Yes, there is no other way, because on top of everything, we're women, we have hormones, we have moods,
I think many young women think to have a family is to mean that you are restricted. And you two are a perfect example where you clearly show that's not the case. I think also that the young generation, no matter the gender, is that they don't value as much as we did relationships with people, parents, because I see it very clearly that people don't see the same way relationships, loyalty, honesty in the same way it was before. And that makes me a little bit sad. And I think also it clearly shows in the business that people from older generation value relationships much, much more. And that's why I think they are much more successful in face-to-face business, not online. Online, we don't have a chance with this generation. They are on the phone constantly. But I think that saddens me a little bit, because I don't think, that's my opinion, I don't think they know what is important to them until they're much older.
Yeah.
I think that's why many people, including me, I never want to have kids. Now I want to have kids. I want to have family. I want to have kids. I realize that now when I see my sister with her kid, it's such a beautiful energy. I cannot even describe. They look so happy, and to create something like that, create a comfort around you, and a life with people that you want to do anything for, it's a blessing, like you said before. And I think the trend, I hope in the future, changes, because I miss the old time that families were so much closer. Nowadays, you see generations, they don't even speak to the parents. They move out when they're 18 and that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm very classical in that sense. I have a very classical family values, and I would say that the biggest success in my life, which I have never ever thought I will say this, but to have my children.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes,
because I guess
completely agree. Even like knowing it's not easy, going through whole experience I went, I would still go back and have her, because that's
And I think that's an important message for young girls, that you can have both, and you should still value having a beautiful family, because at the end, I promise you that will be very, very important, that you live a healthy life. And I think kids, it's a blessing. So I really, really advise for people to rethink a little bit about that and value relationships more. I've been super, super happy having you here, guys. You were my priority choices when I was planning all my podcast episodes, because I wanted to have a mature woman who is successful and also have kids. I've been very, very happy speaking with you about many things. And I hope maybe for season 2 we do wine, chocolate, ice cream, and a good cry. Do you have a last word of advice or statement that you would like to say before we finish?
Let me think for a second. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me, Robert. It was a pleasure to sit here today with Renata and to talk about our experiences and our feelings. Sometimes I thought that it went a little bit too deep. I don't know how you're gonna do the cutting. we will see it. I hope you're not gonna point out that, oh, there you made a spelling mistake.
No.
Like you do it on your video. What I would say, yes, it's possible to have a family and to have a career. Yes, it's possible. You need to organize yourself well, and you can do it, and you should do it. That's what I would say to the young girls. Yes, you can do it.
And you, Renata?
Same. Thank you very much for inviting us. Hearing that you, out of so many women on the coast, you have chosen us, I feel privileged. Thank you for nice conversation. It was really interesting to hear. And I would maybe just add, in terms of the whole real estate market, I would love everyone, to gather and make a important change, so Marbella gets even better name in the eyes of potential buyers or people who want to move here.
I agree, and I hope if those meetings happens in the future, also bring people with controversial ideas and suggestions, because if one of them can make it better, we should use all of the ideas we can. I think none of us are perfect, and even the new generation, I promise you, they have ideas that we maybe never thought how we can implement. I'm happy to hear everybody's ideas. But of course, I value more senior agents that have experience in life and that are more successful. And the new generation needs to learn and work and don't complain so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm very happy to call you guys my friends and business partners in our work, and looking forward to do many deals as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
pleasure.
guys.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.